ever survived a round of layoffs and thought, I should feel relieved? Instead, you couldn't relax. The office felt different. Meetings became quieter. People stopped making long-term plans. Every unexpected calendar invitation made your stomach sink. You kept thinking, what if I am next? Nobody prepares you for this. We talk about people who lose their jobs. We celebrate the people who quickly find another one. But almost nobody talks about the people who stay. And staying has its own invisible cost. At first, you tell yourself you are one of the lucky ones. You still have a salary, you still have a job, you still have a team. So you couldn't complain. In fact, you almost feel guilty for struggling. Because compared to what others are going through, your problems don't seem important. Then, little by little, things begin to change. You notice empty desks. Projects disappears overnight. People leave meetings without their usual energy. Colleagues stop saying, let's plan for next quarter. Instead, everything becomes, let's just get through this month. Without anyone asking, work starts finding its way to you. One task, then another, then another. Nobody officially says you are now doing 2 jobs, but somehow that's exactly what happened. Then something even stranger happens. You stop making career decisions. You start making survival decisions. Before, you would volunteer for visible projects. You would challenge ideas. You would ask difficult questions. You would think about your next promotion. Now, you just want stability. You tell yourself, maybe I shouldn't push back. Maybe I shouldn't say no. Maybe this isn't the right time. It doesn't feel like fear. It feels like being sensible. That's why so many people don't notice it happen. They believe they are simply being careful, but something much deeper has changed. Here's what finally clicked for me. Layoffs don't only change organizations, they change the people who remain, because uncertainty quietly changes how your brain works. It becomes less interested in growth and much more interested in safety. Without realizing it, you start protecting what you have instead of building what comes next. You avoid risks. You stay quieter in meetings. You stop applying for stretch opportunities. Not because you've lost ambition, because your brain is trying to keep you safe. And when you are constantly trying to stay safe, your career quietly stops moving forward. Here's today's unwritten rule. Layoffs don't only reduce headcount, they often reduce confidence, especially for the people who stay. The invisible cost isn't just more work. It's that you begin making career decisions based on fear, while believing you are simply being realistic. And that's a dangerous place to stay. Because protection rarely looks like progress. If you've survived layoffs recently, I want to leave you with one question. Are you building your next career move, or are you simply trying not to lose this one? Those are two very different strategies. One is driven by purpose, the other is driven by fear, and they lead to very different careers. If this video helped you understand something you've been feeling but couldn't explain, subscribe. Every week, I decode another unwritten rule of career growth for women in tech. Because once you understand the rules, you can finally stop playing a game you were never taught.